So we'll move on to the next question. I think it's Bashir Barwal. So Bashir, you can go ahead.
Hi, Jonathan. It's Bashir Barwal from ACA. Is ځاځي fit for tomorrow's game? I think there was some news about him being injured. And my second question is, teams like Afghanistan, they wait for years to face some big teams in the World Cup, but when they come to the World Cup, their games are abandoned. Only in the games so far, I think there's been 8 teams who has at least one game abandoned or announced without result. Afghanistan has the most. 2 of their games have been announced without results, and tomorrow's game is also with a forecast shows rain. Do you think these games should be rescheduled, especially if it's more than one, like Afghanistan situation? Is it fair for the team in place to have more than one game abandoned in these sort of events?
It's difficult, and it's there's so many things that go on behind the scenes to organise games and schedule them, and hospitality and all sorts of security that's organised, and so to reschedule games is a real headache. Last press conference I did, I said, obviously the frustration was there's an indoor stadium down the road, but to be able to move things around is a huge operation. So to understand the size and the things that go on is really difficult to have or change things last minute. Those things need to be in place way before. So that's not an option. So it's not even really worth thinking about at the moment. So it is disappointing. Yes, we've had 2 rained off. We need to be able to focus on tomorrow's game and put that behind us. That is disappointing, but we have to move on. As with regards to ځاځي, he's being assessed now, and we'll have a word. We will have some news a little bit later, I think, with regards to his availability.
Bashir, do you have a follow-up question? Or Shayan?
Someone's got their hand up.
Yeah, I think it's Shayan. I think Bashir.
Bashir, yeah.
So, any more questions?
Yeah, my question was more about for future events or the future games, because when you wait for a few years and then you have at least two or more games abandoned. Do you think it's fair, for players, especially for teams like Afghanistan who don't get that opportunity more often? They haven't played, let's say, New Zealand other than World Cups.
I think so. For opportunities there to have reserve days or whatever, especially when you're playing it in you would say the sort of spring or the rainy season in places. Yeah, that's a possibility. But everything's hindsight, and we're not at all saying that that's the case or feel hard done by. It's about looking forward now. And making sure that we focus on tomorrow's game and hopefully putting ourselves in contention for the Australia match to go through.
Yep, and for tomorrow's game, the team haven't played, I think, in the past 5-6 days. Do you think that will have some sort of effect on them for tomorrow's game or the game after?
No, I don't think so. I think certainly we'll be fresh. We'll have a lot of energy going into games, so it's exciting times. We've played at the Gabba in a pre-tournament game as well, so we've had a bit of experience. So the guys are looking forward to that, and it's a great stadium. And we had over 2 weeks preparing here in Brisbane. It's a little bit warmer now than it was when we were here preparing for the tournament. So this is proper Brisbane heat, and I'm looking forward to it.